Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 86 of Be With Me. We're in the book of Acts. We're in chapter 13, and Paul has been giving a big speech, and I'm going to call this today Begging for Another 7 Minutes. So Paul has been proving Jesus using the Old Testament scriptures, and he's going through some things that are almost too good to be true. That he's addressing the almost too good to be true aspects of Christianity. He talked about one yesterday, which is the crucifixion leading to a resurrection from the dead, one of the big marquees of Christianity, that his body would not seek decay, and he used the Old Testament scriptures to prove that. But today he's going to talk about maybe number 2 on the list of the too good to be true parts of Christianity. So listen in, see if you can find it. This is from Acts chapter 13, verse 38. Let it be known to you, therefore, brothers, that through this man, it's talking about Jesus, forgiveness of sins is proclaimed to you. And by him, everyone who believes is freed from everything which you could not be freed by the law of Moses. Beware, therefore, lest what is said in the prophets should come about. Look, you scoffers, be astounded and perish, for I am doing a work in your days, a work that you will not believe, even if no one tells it to you. And as they went out, the people begged that these things might be told them the next Sabbath. So here it is. The big topic for today is forgiveness of sins. So we all want a God who is just as long as that justice doesn't include me. You've seen people on TV, protests, we want justice for, and then they fill in the blank on who they want justice for. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody carry a sign that says, we want justice, or I want justice for me. Why? Because we all know in our hearts that we're sinners, that we have fallen short. The sign that everybody wants to carry is, I want blank for me, which fill in the blank is, I want mercy for me. So our society has, and every society, right from the get-go, has some sort of a justice system. We have a Department of Justice, and I was thinking that even in heaven there's this Department of Justice, because that's what we want. We want a God that's like that. We know that's the right thing. And the problem is there's a penalty for every sin. And the point is that Jesus is offering a way of forgiveness that is he's talked about it all the way from 600 BC, by his stripes, I can be healed. That is, he can take the penalty. The fancy word for it is substitutionary atonement. That is, you substitute an innocent party, a scapegoat, which comes from the Bible. You find something completely innocent, put the blame on it, and that is the blame taker, the scapegoat. So belief in Jesus as Lord comes with this specific benefit. And it's really one of these too good to be true parts of Christianity. All right, so let's make an excuse here today. Number 1, God could never forgive the particular sin that I'm thinking about in my head that I've done. And I'm here to tell you that is bad theology. That is, you're elevating your sin above your view of God. And so we need to change our view of God to be more accurate, to be higher, if you will, and to be more in line with how he's revealed himself. By saying that God could never forgive my particular sin, you're calling him a liar, and you're saying that's not the way God has revealed himself, when it is. The verse that I kept thinking about today in association with this is from John 8:42, and this is Jesus saying, I told you that you would die in your sins. Unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. So dying in your sins means dying in the accompaniment, in the company of your sin. That is, you're going to die with your sins surrounding you. In other words, you're taking them with you, as opposed to, and then being responsible for their penalty, which of course you can't do. So it's not a pretty picture. You don't want to die in your sins. So in our passage today, a couple of conclusions. Number 1 is he quotes a passage from Habakkuk 1:5, which says, "Look, you scoffers, be astounded and perish." So you can be astounded and miss this. You can be astounded and perish. And don't miss the work. Don't miss that God may be doing a work in our days. So there's a beware part of this a passage. Don't miss that God could be near, that He's at the door, that He's offering. Don't be a scoffer, a critic, waiting for something else, waiting for something better. I think that today the response is you have three choices. One is believe. That would be ideal. I understand that this is too good to be true, almost too good to be true. And if you're still in the almost part of it, maybe belief is too a bridge too far, so to speak. The second alternative is to beg for more, which is what happens in the story. These people said, "This is really amazing. Please come back. This forgiveness of sins is blowing my mind. Please come back next week. I want to hear more from this." And maybe that's you. And that's why I'm titling this Beg for Another 7 Minutes. Because if this sounds too amazing and too incredible, and that God could forgive the horrible thing that I've done or horrible thing that I thought, come back tomorrow. Another 7 minutes. Let's learn a little bit more about God. Or then the final thing is the people that are mentioned in the passage, which is beware. Don't be that guy who has hardened his heart and made a decision against God. So hopefully believe. Second alternative is to beg, and please don't be the person that the warning is given to, that beware that God has done a work in your day and you said no. So let's beg for another 7 minutes tomorrow as we learn more about this God who forgives sins, and this almost too good to be true. Believe today or beg for more tomorrow. Don't be one who needs a warning of beware. Tell me more. Come back tomorrow. Thanks for listening.